Happy Tuesday, you guys. 20 minutes workout for you today. So we are starting with a 20-minute AMRAP, so as many rounds as possible. 12 Cossack squats, 10 single arm dumbbell swings. You're gonna alternate 5 on each side. 8 chair dips, 10 jumping squats or regular squats, 12 jumping lunges or regular lunges. Then we're gonna have a core strength here, 8 minutes again of as many rounds as possible. We're gonna do 12 slow and controlled spider plank, 20 mountain climbers, and then 30-second side plank on each side. As many rounds of that as possible in 8 minutes. So a 20-minute work and then 8 minutes of core. Before we get to this, we're gonna do a little bit of a prep for the workout and they started with a warm-up. So the warm-up, you guys are gonna do 3 rounds of 12 single arm dumbbell deadlift, 9 single arm dumbbell hang clean, and then 6 single arm dumbbell shoulder strict press. If your dumbbell is too heavy, I want you to do a push press instead of strict. So you're gonna do all these movements in one side. So if you start with the right, you do all the moves in the right, and then switch on the left, and then you do it on the left. And then you're gonna perform 3 rounds of that. Before we approach the workout, we're gonna go and work on sets of 6 of each of the movements before you guys get started, okay? So let's go over your warm-up. So we're starting with dumbbell deadlift. So whatever side you decide to do, I want you to think about grabbing your dumbbell in one end of it so the other side of your dumbbell touches the floor. Focus here is to keep your neutral spine, right? And I want you to organize your shoulder by bringing your shoulders up, back, and down. So you're gonna keep that nice and tall chest. Your head is gonna be looking straight ahead. From here, I want you to think about hinging your hips back and then driving those knees out at the same time. So think about like pushing your butt back and then touch the floor and then stand nice and tall. Okay, so if you see it from front. So that's for your dumbbell deadlift. For your hang clean, so again, you're gonna start holding in one side, and then I want you to think about bringing your shoulders slightly in front of your knees here, and then it's gonna start from a hang position. So the dumbbell is gonna be just above the knee. From here, I want you to think about opening up the hips fully, squeezing your glutes, shrugging the shoulders, and then getting the dumbbell to your shoulder. Okay, so again, you're gonna go from here, fully open and receive on the shoulder. So that's your hang clean. Then the next one is gonna be our shoulder strict press. The idea here is just to move your shoulders. So I want your feet under the hips. You're gonna lock the knees, lock the hips. Again, nice and tall with your chest, with your shoulders. Then from here, I want you to think about shrugging with the shoulder and pressing that dumbbell overhead. Make sure that we're not overextending as we go back. So I want you to think about bringing your belly button towards your spine so you have that core nice and tight. And then press overhead. If you need to use your push press because you have a heavy dumbbell, so you're gonna drive straight down and press overhead. So you're gonna dip and press overhead. So that's going to be your dumbbell press. So you're gonna do 12 deadlift, 9 hang clean, and then 6 shoulder strict press, and then move to the other side, and you're gonna do 3 rounds of that, okay? Prepping for the workout for those 20 minutes. So we're gonna start with your Cossack squats. So for the workout, you're gonna be doing 12 Cossack squats. Every time you switch one side, you count as 1. You can do with the dumbbell or you can do without it. So if you have a hard time balancing, I would recommend go without anything, and you can also use a chair to help you. But if you have a good solid position, a good solid foundation, then I would say, okay, go ahead and use your dumbbell. If you're going to be using a dumbbell, you're gonna hold it right in front of your chest with both of your hands. You're gonna take a step to the side. The goal here is to hinge your hips back and down as far as you can, and keeping your heel on the floor. So you're gonna push the hips back and down, and then stand nice and tall, and then again. If you have a hard time with this, you can go without anything. Just keep your hands up. Or you can also use a chair if this is a hard movement for you. So you can use a chair to help you balance out. So you have all those options for your Cossack squat. So I want you to go for a set of 6. Okay? For your single arm dumbbell swing. So this one, we haven't done it before, but it's a kind of fun movement. So the same way we're gonna be swinging with the kettlebell, we're gonna be swinging with the dumbbell. And this is gonna be Russian, so it's gonna be shoulder height. Okay, so you're gonna grab right in the middle of your dumbbell, and your feet is gonna be shoulder width apart. Same movement you're gonna be doing for the kettlebell swings, you're gonna use for your dumbbell. But from here, you're gonna hinge the hips back, and then you're gonna lock your hips and knees, keeping your chest nice and tall. So you're gonna do a set of 6 in one side, and then 6 in the other side. So that's your kettlebell swing, dumbbell swing. I wanna do a couple on the side. As you see, make sure your spine is nice and neutral, so we're not rounding the back. Keeping that torso nice and tall. You're just gonna hinge the hips back, having a full extension at the top of the hips and knees. So that's your dumbbell swing. For your chair dip, you're gonna make sure you got a stable chair so it's not gonna flip on your head. But for this one, you're gonna place your hands behind your shoulder, and you're gonna have your feet, your legs totally extended in front of you. So you can sit on the chair, scoot your butt off of it. You're gonna bring your feet as far out as you can. You're gonna pop the hip, keep everything nice and straight. Then from there, you're gonna bring your elbows back, go as low as you can, and then lock up again. If this is too hard, you can bend the knee. And you can also use your leg to help you come up, okay? So we're gonna need a chair for this one. And for your jump squats and jumping lunges, if you can't jump, I want you to think about doing regular squats. So your feet is shoulder width apart, with your toes likely pointing out. You're gonna hip crease below the knee, driving those knees out to make sure your knees are striking your toe, full extending. Or for the workout, we want the jump squats. Everything remains the same, but as you stand up, I want your both feet off the floor. So we squat down, both hands down to the floor, and then bring hands overhead to the side here. So be careful with the zone, because sometimes we tend to deadlift instead of squatting. So we're really looking for that depth of that squat and full extension by jumping both feet off the floor, okay? Same thing for your lunges. When you're doing your lunges, if you don't want to jump, or if you can't jump, you're just gonna step forward. Make sure front leg is at a 90-degree position, your shin is vertical, your torso is nice and straight, so we're not leaning forward. Then from here, I want you to think about pressing with the heel to come back up, and then switch legs. If you're doing the jumping one, what I want to make sure that happens is that opening of the hips as you stand up. Okay, so we land with the knee on the floor, but then as we jump, I want you to think about squeezing the glute as hard as you can, so you get that full extension at the top. Okay, so that's your movements for the workout. 20 minutes, 12 Cossack squats, 10 swings, 5 on each side, chair dips, 8 of them, 10 jump squats or regular squats, 12 lunges or jumping lunges. Those are the movements for the workout. Then we're gonna finish it up with your core strength here. So going over those movements for the core. So the spider plank, the nice and slow. So I want you to think about planking it, hands right under the shoulder, right? So your shoulder, elbow, and wrist is aligned. Fingers spread out so you guys have a little bit of balance. Then from here, you're gonna stay on your toe. And I want you to think about squeezing your glutes, squeezing your belly tight. And then you're gonna bring one knee right outside of the elbow. And then back down. And then again. So that's your spider plank. 6 on each side, total of 12. For your mountain climbers, setup is the same. Hands under the shoulder, fingers spread out. And then you're gonna bring one leg forward, but this time I want your knee tracking your elbow. And that leg that comes forward, I wanna make sure your foot doesn't touch the floor. But if you have to, if that makes it easier for you and doable, you definitely can do that. But the goal here is to bring one leg forward. And then if you need to, you can bring your toe down to the ground every time. That's for your mountain climbers. Every time you bring your leg forward, you count as 1. Last one, guys, is gonna be your, it's gonna be 30-second side plank. So for your side plank, again, we're looking for shoulder, elbows, wrist aligned. You're gonna stay on the side here, both feet together. And I want you to think about, this is what we're looking for, is for you to pop that hip towards the ceiling and nice and control over there without dropping. Okay, so that's where you're gonna be doing all the work if you keep pushing that hip towards the ceiling. So you're gonna do 30 seconds, then switch sides and do another 30 seconds. So 8 minutes of that. If the side plank is really hard for you, I want you to think about stay with half of your leg down to the floor. So up to your knee, you're gonna be touching the floor. Your opposite leg is gonna be right in front of your foot here. And then you're just gonna pop the hip and you're gonna hold it, really having the support with that leg down to the floor, okay? If it's too challenging, you can just go for your regular tall plank, 30 seconds, and then you can do a reverse plank for the last 30 seconds. Okay, so those are your options for your core. And this is a long one, guys. You're gonna get a good sweat in, so have fun.